let's dive right into something we all do pretty much all the time. Suggesting ideas in English. I mean, think about it. You've got brainstorming sessions at work or just figuring out weekend plans with friends. It really is a core communication skill.
It really is. And it's, a skill where lots of people feel they could improve. You might have a brilliant idea, a really fantastic thought, but actually getting it out there clearly and, well, confidently in English, that can sometimes feel like a bit of a hurdle.
Exactly. So the main focus of this deep dive today is to equip you, our listeners, with some really practical phrases and sort of a better understanding of how to offer your ideas smoothly, naturally.
Yeah, and the material we're drawing on here is from a daily speaking podcast that focuses specifically on this very skill.
Right. So what's so interesting about this, I think, is just how fundamental suggesting ideas actually is. It's not just about, making your voice heard.
No, not at all. It's really the engine of collaboration, isn't it?
Right.
In like any group setting, could be a work team trying to crack a project or just friends deciding what movie to see the ability to actually propose ideas. That's how you move things forward. It's how you blend different perspectives.
Okay, so let's get practical then. The source material gives us a great set of phrases to start using, like right away. First up, how about?
Ah, yes. A classic. A real go-to phrase, and for good reason. It's pretty casual, it's open-ended. It genuinely invites a response, doesn't it?
Yeah.
For example, how about going for a walk after lunch? It's just a gentle way to float an idea out there.
Okay. Then we have, what about that one?
This one's maybe a little more direct, but still super common. The example they gave was, why don't we try a new restaurant this weekend? See how it kind of frames the suggestion almost like a shared problem we can solve together?
Right. Okay. And what if I like this one. It feels like it really opens up possibilities, encourages a bit more maybe imaginative thinking.
Precisely. Yeah, it's excellent for exploring different options. Like, what if we added some music to our presentation? It prompts you to look at things from maybe a slightly different angle.
Nice. Okay, here's another familiar one. Maybe we could.
This phrase adds just a touch of tentativeness, which can be really useful if you're not quite sure how your suggestion is going to land,
Yeah, good point.
Maybe we could take a break and come back to this later. That kind of acknowledges that, hey, the current approach might not be working for everyone right now.
Okay. And we also have the more concise, let's try.
Yes. This one implies more of a desire for action, for experimentation. The example, let's try using a different example, is pretty straightforward. Solution-focused.
It's quite direct.
It is, and that directness can be really effective when you want to build momentum. But maybe less ideal if you're in a situation where you need to build a lot of consensus first. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And lastly, there's a slightly more formal option given. I think it would be a good idea too.
Yes, that was definitely useful in more, let's say, professional settings, or just situations where you want to state your suggestion quite clearly, maybe with a bit more weight behind it.
Right.
I think it would be a good idea to check with the manager first. It sort of conveys a sense of considered advice, doesn't it?
It does. Okay, so we've got this list of useful phrases, but seeing them actually used in a natural conversation, well, that really helps nail down how they work.
Totally agree.
And our source provides a short dialogue that's, I think, really illuminating. Speaker 1 kicks things off. Hey, we have to finish this project by Friday.
Okay. Typical pressure situation.
Yeah.
And Speaker 2 replies, what if we divide the work and meet again tomorrow?
And notice how immediately Speaker 2 jumps in with one of our key phrases, what if we, proposing a concrete way to tackle that deadline.
Exactly. It's proactive. It's a contribution right away.
Absolutely. And then Speaker 1 responds, that's a good idea. Maybe we could also make a checklist.
There it is again. Maybe we could. Yeah. So Speaker 1 is building on that first suggestion, adding another collaborative idea.
Yeah.
It shows how one good suggestion can kind of spark others, leading to more helpful ideas within the flow of the conversation.
And Speaker 2 finishes it off with, great, let's try that and see how it goes.
And that closing line is important too. Let's try. It signals agreement, and a clear willingness to actually move forward with what they've just discussed.
Right, it takes it from idea to action.
Exactly. It just underscores how suggesting ideas effectively, using these kinds of phrases, can lead straight to tangible outcomes.
So we've got the phrases, we've seen them in action in that little dialogue. Now, what about some quick pointers, things to keep in mind when you're offering your own suggestions out there?
What's interesting here is the emphasis the source material puts on politeness, especially, as we mentioned, in more formal environments. It points out that phrasing your suggestions courteously can really significantly influence how people receive them.
That makes total sense. I mean, nobody likes feeling like they're being told what to do, right?
Exactly. And another subtle point the source highlights is using rising intonation. Why is that important?
Well, I guess if your voice goes up slightly at the end of your suggestion, like, how about we grab coffee? Instead of, how about we grab coffee?
Precisely.
It sounds less like a demand, maybe. More like an actual suggestion. It invites input, makes you seem more approachable, it softens the delivery.
That's exactly it. It transforms what could be a flat statement into more of an invitation for discussion. And crucially, the source reminds us that good communication, well, it's a two-way street.
Right.
It's not just about voicing your own brilliant ideas, but also really actively listening to and valuing the ideas that other people bring to the conversation.
Okay, so you've given us the tools, shown us how they work in practice, shared some really valuable tips. Now it's kind of over to you, the listener, isn't it? How can you actually put this into practice?
Yeah, this brings us to the practical application part. The material actually included a try this at home challenge, which I think is a fantastic way to solidify the learning.
Okay, what does it involve?
It encourages you to actively, consciously suggest 3 ideas to a friend. Could be anything at all, what to watch tonight, where to grab coffee tomorrow, simple stuff.
Okay, 3 ideas. And what if you, I don't know, don't have someone readily available or feel a bit shy?
Good question. The suggestion then is to actually record yourself making suggestions.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that way you can listen back, get a real sense of how you sound. You can check your intonation, see if you're using the phrases naturally. It helps you identify areas you might want to refine.
That's smart. Any specific phrases they recommend focusing on for practice?
Yes, they specifically recommend trying out how about and what if we.
Yeah.
Just focusing on a couple of key phrases like that is often a really good way to build confidence before expanding your repertoire.
Makes sense. Start small.
Exactly. And one more really practical tip, they suggest writing down the ideas you practice suggesting.
Writing them down.
Yeah, whether you just jot them in a notebook or type them out. Apparently, the physical act of writing can really help reinforce what you've learned. It engages a different part of your brain.
Interesting. Okay, so to kind of wrap things up a bit, the real power here seems to lie in having this toolkit, this set of specific, polite phrases for suggesting ideas in English.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not just about having good ideas, though, that helps. It's about being able to express them clearly, confidently, and, well, collaboratively.
Right. And building on that practice challenge, here's maybe a final thought for you to chew on. Over the next day or so, try to make a conscious effort just to notice how you suggest ideas in your everyday conversations, whatever language you're speaking.
Yeah, pay attention to the specific words you use and maybe how people respond.
And perhaps even observe how others around you make suggestions. You could ask yourself, if slightly different phrasing, maybe using some of the ones we discussed, might lead to different reactions or a smoother conversation. It's all part of really honing those communication skills, isn't it?
Definitely. Continuous observation and practice.